Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to Doombringer set review. You are viewing the colorless cards, or the Shardless cards. I will be going over the cards' constructed playabilities, not immortal, so it's basically like for the Hex Bash, the CCS, Arcanium Vault, not limited, just constructed. So, yeah, and basically their playability in Tier 1 decks. Alright, let's go ahead and get into this. Our first card is Blooming Curio. This is all a cycle. Okay, this is all a cycle of like 3-color shards or 3-color thresholds. When it comes to play, you basically have to choose if you want a blood threshold, diamond, or wild. And then they all have sacrifice this to either permanently ramp yourself by 1 shard or 1 resource, or draw a card. These are mostly used for limited to try to fuel. I think they try to fuel the tricolor shards. As far as constructed, maybe if you're playing four colors, you'd want this, or maybe if you're playing for the heart, for the Eradicrux Heart. We'll get to that in a second. Then I can maybe see playing these. But otherwise, I think if you're playing 2-3 shards, you don't really need this. Unless you're like heavily in each shard, or maybe you just want you want to play 3 shards and you also want to try to play Bride of the Damned because you're crazy, then maybe. But overall, I think this is mostly for limited, unless you're doing like some sort of crazy multicolored deck. So these are all the same things. This is the Diamond, Sapphire, Ruby one. This is the same one. This is the card I was talking about. This one says if you control all 5 thresholds, you can play it and draw 2 cards. That's absurd. You can play a land, or you can play a shard and draw 2 cards, and you still get a charge. This card's great. This would be a reason. This would make playing like this stuff worthwhile. Because this is very powerful, guys. Like, you just play a shard and draw 2 cards. Like, that's an Oracle song, and you're getting a shard out of it. Like. But the only problem is like you're playing this in your 5 shard deck. You're playing a colorless shard in your 5 shard deck. That is risky. You are going to want more ways to acquire the shards as much as possible. So something like assimilate is good because it gives you the thresholds of the opposing troop that you assimilate. The curios are another possible way to get the off-color resources. So if you can find a way to play this card, good for you. Like, I'm gonna try to do it too. I think it's great. So we'll see, because it's very powerful. This is obviously the strongest shard ever. If you can trigger its ability, it's just very hard to trigger the ability. Sweet art, sweet card. All right, just all the hitters right away. Eternal Curator. I'm gonna get a drink for this because this one's this is an effect I've never seen in, not only in Hex, but just any TCG that I've played. I've played a lot. Eternal Curator is an amazing, sweet, awesome, powerful card. It is absolutely a build around me card. Keep in mind, this thing costs 7. It's 7/7, it's invincible, which means it's very hard to kill. It has a deploy ability. It says void each duplicate in decks. Keep in mind, this is decks. This is not just your opponent's decks. This is also your deck. This also hits shards. This hits resources. This is not just non-resources. If you're playing like mono wild, all those resources are gone. So what does this card do? When you play it, when it comes into play and it triggers ability, it will basically let you be able to see your opponent's deck and what they're doing. You'll see what's voided. You'll see how many cards left in their library or their deck, and be able to go from there. You basically be able to tell what cards are playing, what cards are not. This card is great as like a way to cast. In Magic, it's called Doomsday. For example, you basically have to play this and set your deck up. So let's say you're playing like Food for Thought. Let's say you're playing 1 Food for Thought, because that card's awful. play 1 Food for Thought, like 1 Howling Madness, and some other mill card that mills a lot. So when you cast Curator, you can then all the cards left in your deck are the mill cards, the 1-of mill cards you have. So then you can like mill your opponent out because your opponent has a very small library after this card resolves. You can also build a sort of a Highlander deck where when you play this card, your opponent is on like a clock before they die. Like however many cards they have left in their deck is their clock. What I would do is I would make a 2-of. I would play a deck with like 2 Strangle, 2 Hero Fall, 2 Massacre, 2 whatever, 2 across the board. I would play like probably 3 or 4 of these, and then I'd play 4 Locket of Reflections. This way, your 2-ofs are hyper powered with Locket of Reflection, and when you play Eternal Curator, you will have the bigger deck than your opponent. And we all know that deck size matters. For those of you that said you've been told that the deck size does not matter, it's a lie. The bigger deck always wins. So now we can build a combo deck with like Howling Madness, just mill them out. We can build a deck. We can build around this card with like Locket of Reflection. You can also build this card just to reanimate it, like basically bring back from the dead. I'm sure I'm missing something too. Like this card also can probably do some other crazy stuff. Like the fact that you can build your deck, you can like have 1-of in your deck to basically guarantee that you draw them late in the game when you cast this card. Again, a good example is that 1-of Food for Thought, where you can play this, then draw your Food for Thought. By this time, you have like 7 or more resources. You can pay 7, mill your opponent 7 cards, they die. It's a cool card. Excited to play with it. Is it as powerful as Eternal Seeker? I think yes, but it's different. It's not as straightforward as Eternal Seeker. Eternal Seeker, you just play, you choose a number, it's good. It's always good. The card's always freaking good. This card you have to build around. If you're just playing a card just to play the card, Seeker's better. But I believe if you build your deck around this card and you build it correctly, this card will be better than Eternal Seeker. But as far as pound for pound, they're equal because Seeker is just, you just jam it in any deck, it's good. This one you have to work really hard for it, but the payoff is insane. Alright. Alright, Feral Go Zone. 6 cost, 5/5, speed. When this bad boy gets blasted by damage, so when this takes damage, it dispenses that many thirst-murdering high-octane curios. Are you extreme enough to handle that? I'm not sure why extreme is bolded. Bad boy means it's true. Blasted means when it takes damage. High-octane curio is a card that you get. Are you extreme enough to handle this? I don't know. I'm probably not extreme enough to handle it because I don't get it. I do not think this card is good enough. I think it's a sweet limited card, but I don't think it's good enough in constructed. Fountain of Dreams. Puck died. They built a fountain for him. For that merry wanderer of the night. Guys, let's all take a moment of silence. I just need like 5 seconds here. No one talk for Puck's death. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the moment of silence. Rest in peace, Puck. Now let's go back to his fountain. Puck, I think you're a great guy. I'm sorry you've passed away. I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but I don't think your fountain is good enough. His fountain is not good enough because it costs 9. That's a lot. If it's gonna cost 9, you cannot be worse than Wildlife. This card's worse than Wildlife. And Wildlife you can play earlier than this. So, sorry. I'm sorry. It's just, I mean, no. This is not good enough. If there was a way to like discard it and bring it onto the battlefield, then maybe. But even then, if you're gonna pay for this card, just play Wildlife. Alright, Puck. Peace out, buddy. Chime the Zodiac was too slow to play. Hey! Chime the Zodiac was great. You guys... I made a deck out of Chime the Zodiac that became like tier 1. You missed it, Ian Miller. You missed it. Okay. Heart of Agony. My mouth's getting dry. Sorry, guys. 1/1 resource. When you play this, you lose 3 life and gain 3 thresholds. Heart of Agony. This card is obviously good in decks that can use the charges. The go-to champion you're probably thinking of is like Angus. I'll just play this. I'll burn you for 3 or 4, whatever. But guys, you gotta think better than that. Think better. Play this with like Arena Regular. If you have two Arena Regulars, you play this. They take 6. If you have 2 Arena Regulars and you're playing that champion that like the Blood Ruby champion that basically makes all pings do 1 more this turn. All damage do 1 more this turn. I can't remember his name. What's his name? God. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's a Blood Ruby champion. You can use the ability. All damage this turn is increased by 1 for your opponent, basically. So if you have like... Yeah, Yotol Mogok. However you say it. That champion. Thank you, Ian Miller. Yotol. So if you have like 2 Arena Regulars and you use the ability, and then you play this card, you're going to deal, what, 12 damage? This is playing a Shard. 12 damage and you're not even done with your turn. Yotol's immortal. Well, okay, this card is great in Yotol. This card is great in Immortal then. In that deck. But even still, like, play it with a deck where charges matter. Like, if you play this in Angus, make sure you play 4 Arena Regular, because playing Arena Regular and playing this card, you'll deal them 3 damage with the regular, then 3 more damage with the hero power. So, this is a powerful Shard. It will see play. It's obviously going to go in some sort of, like, deck that can kill you very fast with charges. Otherwise, that 3 life's going to add up really quickly. This is the High Octane Curio, is the thing we talked about earlier. Kaleidotron. This card is sweet. It costs 3. It's a 3/3. It has a soccerable major. Honestly, you're probably gonna put the blue gem on it to make it like. You're probably gonna put the blue gem on it to get it vanishing, so it doesn't like die. But this card does have a deck building restriction. It says you can include this in your deck only if it contains 25 prismatic cards. And then it says, I can't scroll, but it says ignore the threshold cost of cards you cast. So basically, if you have like a card that costs like, you need three thresholds to cast. You don't need those. You don't need those thresholds. You can just cast it. Cards like this are so sweet. They're so sweet. Like cards like Kaleidotron, Scribe of the Flayed Man, Lord Blightbark, the Crusaders. All these cards are so good, but there's one card in Hex that destroys deck building. I'm going to say it again, it's Hero Fall. Hero Fall is so toxic to deck building because like all these sweet troops you build around, Hero Fall destroys them. Like, I hate that card. I hate Hero Fall and I hate Into the Unknown because they destroy deck building. This card is great, it's so fun, I think it'll be playable, but the fact that you are literally almost forced to put the Major Sapphire Vanishing, kind of sucks. Because you don't want to build this card, have it Hero Falled, and then your deck's just like a pile of multicolored troops or spells. Man. I can't wait for Hero Fall to leave. Even then, though, we have Into the Unknown. Like, why make those cards? They hurt deck building. They hate they destroy brewing because they hurt sweet cards like this. All right. Another man. These Shardless cards are really sweet. Mysteres de Languisse. Mysteres of the Flayed Man. 4 cost artifact, unique, means you only have 1 out, obviously. Basic, which means only on your turn, and basic speed. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Play a revealed action with cost 3 or less for free. Put the remaining cards into your deck. This card was nerfed before it was released. It used to be just pay 1 and do this ability, which was insane. But now you have to activate it like 3 times to get the resource worth. Basically, you're paying 4. Then you're paying 3 more for a 3 cost spell. Now we're at 7 mana, and we've only played 1 spell that costs 3 or less. And then we're playing 3 more, so we're paying 10 resources to play 2 spells that cost 3 or less. You're still behind. This card does grind. Like, over time it will grind, and does, like, look at top 7 cards. So it does help you, like, find something you might need. I think the nerf was really hurtful. I'm not sure if it needed to be 3. I think 2's fine. That being said, this card is still playable. It's great for grinding matchup. It's great for like Sapphire Blood control decks, or just any control deck. Being able to cast like Heart's Whisper, or be able to cast, you know, Zedek's Judgment, or even like even better yet, you can build this with like Escalate cards. You can build it with like Demented Whispers. You can build it with like the blue Escalate card. The AliEldrazi cards. My brain is not working right now. Bounty the Magus. This card is actually probably this is probably where you want your escalate cards. Like maybe you play like 4 Zip Zappers, you play 4 Demented Whispers, and like 4 Bounty the Magus, and you just try to cast them as much as you can with Mysteres, Delinguas, and Zip Zapper. That's a pretty powerful deck. Or you just play for value. Man, I think Kaleidotron is not a great card because 5 shards currently don't really need. Oh, this card is unplayable. I'm not saying this card is not, guys. If you guys get confused, this card is not playable and constructed. I'm just saying it'd be sweet to mess around with and play with if Hero Fall and Into the Unknown were not a card. The fact that you have to like you have to construct this 25% mana card. You have to like make this crazy deck, and then you get punished by your deck literally unravels if this gets Hero Falled or Into the Unknown. Like now you're just playing a commander deck. And constructed, like it's not cool. I'm not saying this like this card is not playable, for sure not playable with Hero Fall or Into the Unknown. I'm just saying it'd be a fun one to mess with if Hero Fall and Into the Unknown were not cards. All right, Occult Curio is the Blood Ruby Sapphire Curio. All right, now we get to the Remnants. This is also a cycle. I wish they gave us the full one. We just have like the ally colors, I think. Is it ally colors or enemy colors? I don't know. I guess in this game, I'm not sure what allies or enemies are. Like traditionally in MTG, Blood and Wild are enemy colors, but we also have the Sapphire, Ruby, which are enemy colors. But Blood and Ruby are allied colors, so I don't know. Anyways, these Remnants are some of the best cards we've ever had. They are fantastic for aggressive strategies. Because a 3-color mid-range deck or a 3-color control deck, losing life hurts you. Like, it hurts a lot. So, decks that can just, like, play 2 colors, then splash the 3rd color with the Remnants, it's gonna be great for them. Because they can, like, life loss isn't that big a deal because they're just gonna kill you. These cards are sweet. They are obviously good in 2-color decks. You basically get, like, access to 8 wells. But they are very powerful resources and probably the strongest ones. These are honestly probably the best cards out of the set. Are the Remnants is what my vote would go to. This is the cycle of them. These are the like the Curios. This is the common cycle for mostly limited, so you can play 2 or 3 color decks. But these are also good enough to play in constructed. Being able to discard this to get a Blood or Wild Shard is great. You can fix your mana. You can't fix it turn 1, mind you, so you're a little slower. But the fact that you can choose between 2 shards is fantastic. Like this is a sweet addition. I'm glad these are common, so everyone can have access to them. And also, the art on these are super sweet. Like, look at this art. It's beautiful art. This one's great. I love this art. Luckily, they did now. If you buy packs from the store and you open them, you have a chance of getting like sleeves in the root sleeves. So roots are sweet. They're great. They are great. They are great. They don't like pain you, hurt you like the wells. So these cards are really powerful. Look at this. Look at the art. The art's sweet. Ian says, good point, Ian. He says roots also activate the discard effect triggers. That is true. So like if you like discard this card, it does activate the discard effect triggers. So discard effect matters. That's sweet. Sweet cards. Good job, Hex. These cards are sweet. Alright guys, that's all we have for the Shardless cards. Thank you for watching. If you like, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, follow, whatever you do on YouTube. I will be doing this. I'll be trying doing this every set. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys later.